Back to Conseco Fieldhouse, Kristen Airy and Dave Nicholson. The 1A championship game, Barr-Reeve 24-4, Rossville 22-4. And always important, Dave, to look at today's keys to the game. First for Barr-Reeve.
Chris, let's take a look at the keys for Barr-Reeve. Few fouls. They're not a very deep ball club. Transition defense. Rossville wants to run it, and they must rebound. They're a smaller ball club overall than Rossville. And the keys to the game for Rossville, an up-tempo game. They score 70-plus points. Bench scoring, they have a deeper bench, and score their average. If they do, they're probably going to win.
All right, the third member of our broadcast team today is Bob Nagel, and he takes a look at how these two teams have gotten to Conseco Fieldhouse. Bob?
Well, thank you very much, Chris, and we'll be with you with interviews with the coaches at halftime and after the game. Looking forward to a lot of excitement. Here's how these two teams got to Conseco Fieldhouse today. When you look at the road to the Conseco Fieldhouse, for Barr-Reeve, they went through the Lagodi sectional and regional. They included a championship game in the sectional, 31-29 over North Davies. They advanced to the semi-state with a win over Wright River Valley, 62-57. Now for Rossville, they advanced with wins over Clinton Prairie and LaPel in overtime. They won the Huntington North semi-state over Bethany Christian last week. Here's Scott Gregg now with the starting lineup for this afternoon's first game.
Is Barr-Reeve Vikings against the Rossville Hornets. Here are your rosters and starting lineups for this morning's first game. First for Barr-Reeve. Number 10, Tyler Showalter. Number 12, Bryce Bullock. Number 32, Adam Neff. Number 34, Jason Hawkins. Number 40, Kendall Wagler. Number 50, Matt Hart. And the starting lineup for the Barr-Reeve Vikings. At guard, a 5'8" senior, number 20, Ryan Loneker. At guard, a 5'9" senior, number 24, Darren Wilcher. At forward, a 6' junior, number 14, Zane Bowman. At forward, a 6'1" senior, number 30, Craig Knapp. And the center, a 6'7" senior, number 52, Brian Cole. Also on the roster, number 22, Bo Gish. Head coach of the Vikings, Brian Hughes. And now your roster and starting lineup for the Rossville Hornets. Number 20, Corey Layton. Number 21, Weston Emberton. Number 23, Troy Roberson. Number 32, Tommy Dillingham. Number 40, Drew Lorman. Number 42, Brandon Graves. Number 44, Wade Brooks. And the starting lineup for Rossville at guard, a 5'8" senior, number 22, Justin Gallipo. At guard, a 6' senior, number 30, Justin Chittick. At guard, a 6' senior, number 24, David Greaves. At forward, a 6'3" senior, number 34, Adam Klez. At forward, a 6'3" senior, number 43, Brock Graves. Head coach of the Hornets, Jeff Henley.
Those are our starting lineups. Our pregame show has been brought to you by Indiana Members Credit Union. We'll be back with the tip-off, the 1A championship on the LaCie Broadcasting IHSAA television network. Welcome back to Conseco Fieldhouse. Chris Denary, Dave Nicholson, the third member of our broadcast team today, Bob Nagel. There you look at our starting lineups. Barr-Reeve and Rossville, 1A state championship game. It will be a busy day here in Indianapolis. Our tip-off is sponsored by Indiana State University, the way a college should be. Rossville is in the white. Barr-Reeve is in the dark uniforms, and Rossville has the tip, and they will start things off here at Conseco Fieldhouse.
Barr-Reeve comes out man-to-man defense.
Rossville, again, a team that averages almost 72 points per game, and they score quickly. And that's Justin Chittick, their leading scorer, 21.5 points per game.
Well, there's a lot of people think Chittick is an Indiana all-star. He's averaging big numbers, and he can take you one-on-one, and he can also shoot the perimeter shot.
Barr-Reeve averaging just 58 points per game, so we'll see how they work against Rossville here today. And a turnover. Brian Cole turns it over.
Well,
Barr-Reeve head coach Brian Hughes.
That time, Brock Graves had pressure on Cole.
We're really used to down south. We get into some games down there with Lagodi that goes 26-24 in overtime, and here we're looking at Rossville scoring 70s, and so something's going to have to give from that standpoint. Obviously, we don't feel our chances are as great if the game is in the 60s or 70s, so we'll try to keep the score down the best we can.
Rossville will have the ball. They have a 4-point lead. Chittick scored again. And Rossville, again, Dave, they want to play up-tempo, and it will be interesting to see how Barr-Reeve adapts to that.
I think it's very important that Barr-Reeve does not let Rossville get out to a double-digit lead, because they don't score many points. They're in the 50s. And if Rossville keeps going like they've started, I don't know if Barr-Reeve can catch up.
Brock Graves hits the turnaround jumper, and it's quickly 6-0 Rossville. Long three-point shot missed. That was Zane Bowman, their leading scorer for Barr-Reeve, and the Hornets have it the other way. Rossville has come out and hit 3 early shots here. Chittick with a pair of field goals.
They play that open middle zone, or man-to-man motion, I should say, and that leaves the middle open where Chittick can really penetrate and either dish it or finish himself.
And this is also a good three-point shooting team, 38%, but we'll see Barr-Reeve shoot the ball well from the perimeter. They shoot better than 40% from three-point range. Good offensive rebound as David Greaves there, and they're going to say he's over the back.
Well, that was a hairline call, in my opinion. I thought they had equal opportunity to it. The referees thought that Greaves did go over the top. He picks up his first personal.
Well, Rossville is out to a good start. They lead 6-0, and their coach Jeff Henley credits his team with gelling at the right moment.
Well, I think the season has prepared us for this. I mean, we played a lot of quality teams, and we played the last 6 games of the season on the road going to the tournament. So really, we've played 12 straight games on the road now. So we just feel like that this has prepared us for the tournament. We're playing pretty well right now, playing very unselfish.
Barr-Reeve is on the board. Wiltshire hits the jumper. That's Chittick leaning in. Can't get it, but a good offensive rebound by Brock Graves. So right now it's Chittick and Graves, their leaders, doing the damage for Rossville.
That's been the 2 young men that has scored the most for Rossville all year. There's other contributors, but those are the 2 that carry the offense, and obviously they came out ready in this championship game.
Wiltshire draws the foul. He'll shoot free throws now for Barr-Reeve. This has been a Viking basketball team that has been hampered by injuries all season long, and Wiltshire's one of those. They've had a couple of players with ACL injuries. That's a knee injury, and Wiltshire simply hasn't practiced really the last 3 weeks.
2 shots for Barr-Reeve.
Wiltshire is taking a shot before every ball game to help him get through the pain, but you're exactly right. He has not practiced in a normal practice way. He rides a stationary bike and he does shooting, but he is a tough kid, and he's going to play in this game. You know he is.
Dave, as a former coach, how do you adapt to that when one of your star players can't practice?
It just disrupts your whole timing as a team, because you work on special things. People have to work together, Chris, as you know.
Well, Graves attacks the zone. Barr-Reeve for the first time goes to the 2-3 zone, and Graves splits the middle. He has 6. Barr-Reeve missing another jumper. Loneker misses, and Rossville clears the board. They have an early 10-3 lead. Chittick will look to shoot again. That a baseline jumper. And Wilcher will come the other way for Barr-Reeve.
Follow up on that practice situation with Welcher. His game's going to be fine, but his timing with his teammates will be affected by not being on the practice court every day.
Rossville in a man-to-man defense. Nice little dish. They missed the shot inside, and Greaves the rebound for Rossville.
Well, Loneker did a great job of faking the defender, just didn't finish the shot.
Does not get the roll. That was Graves inside, and Barr-Reeve will now slow it down, Dave.
You're getting a pretty good idea of the tempo of the two teams. Barr-Reeve, 5, 6, 7 passes. Rossville, 1 pass, and they let it fly. That's the way the two teams play.
Cole will draw the foul. Shoot free throws now for Barr-Reeve. Cole will have a good size advantage in there. He's a 6'7" senior, averaging 11 points per game.
That foul is going to be on Brock Graves, his first, but I think that's one place that Barr-Reeve has got to exploit with that size advantage. He's kicked it back out a couple of times, but I think they got to get it to low post. He's got to attack the basket.
Barr-Reeve is a good free throw shooting team, but they've now missed 2 of their first 3, 75%.
Yeah, and Cole's a 78% on the year, so that's a rare miss for him.
And in a game like this, Dave, again, when you're trying to slow the tempo down, you've got to take advantage of every point you can get.
And particularly free throws. And the championships are probably won with defense, rebounding, and free throws.
Cole gets the second free throw, and we have a timeout. 3:38 to play in the first half. It's Rossville 10, Barr-Reeve 4. We'll be right back on the LaCie Broadcasting IHSAA Television Network. Welcome back to Conseco Fieldhouse. Rossville has a 10-4 lead on the Methodist Sports Medicine scoreboard. Visit Dugan Chevrolet Pontiac at their new facility at Prestwick Crossing in Avon. Over 200 new units and 100 used units are available. A modern facility with the latest technology to take care of your needs. Dugan Chevrolet Pontiac in Avon. Call 745-6444.
Situation, Chris, where Rossville has come out on top of their game, shooting the ball very well. Barr-Reeve is struggling just a little bit, and as you said, they have now switched up to the zone. Chittick.
Gallipo. He hit that from a different area code than what we're here in downtown Indianapolis against that zone.
Well, Justin Gallipo is a very capable three-point shooter. On the year, he's shooting 37% out there.
That was his 53rd three-point shot of the year. He averages 9 points per game, and right now it's been all Rossville. They've come out, shot the ball well. Barr-Reeve looks to go inside, and again, that's a strength for the Vikings and head coach Brian Hughes. Get the ball inside to Brian Cole.
That time, a new man in the game, Troy Roberson, had the hands on. They call him for hand checking the big guy Cole. Roberson's the one that tore his ACL in January, thought his career might be done. What a story. He's a great player. He got back for the sectional tournament, and certainly I think everyone in the state is really happy that an injured player gets to come back and particularly gets to be a part of the state championship run.
Zane Bowman scores for Barr-Reeve. Moved to guard when they had their knee injuries. He averages 13 points per game, his first field goal, and Barr-Reeve sets back in that 2-3 zone. Gallipo just hit a 3.
Well, there's the other young man, Chittick, that can pop the outside shot, so watch for
another long 3, and it used every bit of the rim, and that's Tommy Dillingham off the bench. And they've now hit back-to-back threes from Gallipo and Dillingham.
Well, from a coaching standpoint, if you're Barr-Reeve, that'd be frustrating. You're going man-to-man, Chittick was driving, and Graves was going wild inside. You go to the zone, Gallipo steps up, Dillingham steps up. Now what do you do?
Yeah, you just don't know what you're going to play. Because they've now, they really struggled stopping Graves and Chittick in the man-to-man, and now 2 other players have hit threes.
Right, and that's the biggest lead of the game, a 10-point margin for Rossville. In talking about Chittick, he's playing for a special purpose in this tournament. He lost a brother in an automobile accident in 1995. He wears his warm-up shirt during warm-ups and has during this tournament run, and he just says it gives him a lot of confidence knowing that his brother's there with him.
And there's Chittick hitting his first three. He has 7. They've hit 3 straight threes, and Brian Hughes wants a timeout. It will be a full timeout. Rossville on a run, and they have a 13-point first quarter lead. We'll be right back. Hornets 19, Barr-Reeve 6 on the LaCie Broadcasting IHSAA Television Network. Rossville has an early 13-point lead. Davies County Visitors Bureau wants to congratulate Barr-Reeve. Come visit Davies County, Southern Indiana's Amish country. For more information, call 800-449-5262. And the Vikings have the ball, trying to dig out of this hole. Not an over and back violation. Rossville tipped it.
Key point in this game, Rossville is 3 for 3 from the 3-line, Chris. Barr-Reeve has tried 2 threes, has not made one.
And Bowman will hit a 3.
They have now.
34th of the year for Zane Bowman, a 34% three-point shooter. And again, this team shoots 40% from beyond the arc, Barr-Reeve. Nice backdoor cut and a score by Brock Graves. He quickly has 8 points.
He came out of the gate strong and just kept going. You have to like what Barr-Reeve did the last time.
Ball spins out. That's called a rebound. Can't follow it in, but will go to the free throw line to shoot 2. So early we have seen Barr-Reeve Dave been successful with Brian Cole inside. He has got to be a factor here in the game.
Without question, he's a 78% free throw shooter. He hasn't been able to finish his attempts at the basket, but he's getting to the free throw line. Plus, that's 2 fouls on Brock Graves, which is critical to Rossville. We're going to see a replay here. They do a nice job of getting it into Cole.
Returns to the Rossville lineup.
And when he gets the ball, of course, you'll see that Brock Graves did have the hands in the back.
Cole makes his second. He's 2 of 4 at the line. Barr-Reeve 3 of 6 here this morning. And it's 21-10. Hornets have an 11-point lead. Greaves on the baseline scores over the bigger Cole.
Well, there's a young man that only scores 5 points a game, but his game is ball handling and defense. But when he gets a basket, that's a real bonus for the Hornets.
Zane Bowman, that's Wiltshire, a 3-point shot in and out. Chittick has the rebound. Rossville will go coast to coast, and a foul as Troy Roberson released down the floor. Had a layup opportunity. Chittick trying to throw the home run pass, and again, there you see the difference between Rossville and Barr-Reeve. Rossville wants to run it up the floor as soon as possible.
Without question, they want the up-tempo Justin Chittick. You can see why people think he's a great point guard. He immediately gets his head up. He threw the long pass right on the money to Roberson, and they had no choice. They either give Roberson a layup or they foul him. They chose to foul him, and he gets to shoot 2 and just missed his first one.
Drew Larman is in there. You see Justin Chittick will go to the bench for the first time for Rossville. They'll also take out Brock Graves, so their 2 leading scorers will sit out the final 38 6/10 seconds here in the first quarter.
Mentioned he tore his ACL in January as he knocks in that second free throw, Chris. And I saw an article in the paper how committed he was to rehabbing, and it's a miracle that he's out there playing.
14-point Rossville lead here in the first quarter. Another 3 try, and it's blocked. Roberson blocked it, and then he threw it away. You looked across the way. Jeff Henley wanted the final shot of the quarter. Roberson was looking for that easy layup, but it was over the head of Greaves. And now Barr-Reeve will work for the final shot of quarter number 1.
We talked about the depth of Rossville. They've already had 6 players score.
And Wiltshire scores for Barr-Reeve, his 5th point. Rossville has 4 seconds to try to get the final shot of the quarter. And a 3-quarter court shot by Tommy Dillingham at the horn is not good. And we have 1 quarter in the books. And Rossville has doubled up Barr-Reeve. It's Rossville 24 and Barr-Reeve 12. We'll be right back. The second quarter next on the LaCie Broadcasting IHSAA Television Network. 8 minutes in the books. 6, and Rossville has a 24-12 lead over Barr-Reeve. Visit Mike Razor Pontiac at the corner of Main and Earl in Lafayette. Great deals on Isuzu, Mercedes, Audi, and Volvo. That's Mike Razor Pontiac in Lafayette.
Interesting stat, Chris. Rossville 71% in that first quarter to 33% for Barr-Reeve. Rossville 3 of 3 behind the 3-line. Barr-Reeve only 1 of 5. That's the difference in the score.
And Rossville will start the quarter with Brock Graves and Justin Chittick on the bench. So a 3-point shot miss, so they'll use their bench. And here's Greaves, the rebound, running the break, and Roberson will finish for Rossville. Roberson, his third point, 26-12. Rossville continues its excellent shooting here in the first half. And when you're hitting from the 3-point range, but you're getting fast break layups, those are the best shots you can get.
That's why you're shooting 71% so far in the ball game. And there again, this may be Barr-Reeve's best option, is to go into Cole, which they just did again. This time they drew a foul on Brandon Graves, who is in the ball game, the brother of Brock.
And Cole misses again, so already in the bonus, the 7th foul against Rossville. Barr-Reeve has committed just 1, but Cole now has made just 2 of 5 at the line.
Of course, that means that perhaps Barr-Reeve can make up some of the deficit at the foul line because they're in the bonus the rest of the way.
Ball tipped out of bounds. Rossville will have it, and they'll come right back with Chittick, Graves, and they'll also bring Adam Klez in, so they'll go right back to 3 of their starters.
Remember our keys to the game. I mentioned how deep the Rossville team is compared to Barr-Reeve. They've already had 6 different people score for Rossville, and Barr-Reeve has to rely on 2 or 3 scores, so that's another big advantage for Rossville.
Chittick against the zone will launch the 3, hit again, this time from the left side, and Justin Chittick now in double figures. He has 10. That's almost half of his 22 points per game. Biggest lead of the game, 29-12, Rossville. 3-point shot missed by Zane Bowman, and Rossville the other way. Here's Chittick. Graves will shoot the 3. He'll hit it from the right side. His 15th of the year. And 11 points now for Brock Graves, and Brian Hughes wants a timeout. And it's all Rossville. They have a 20-point second quarter lead. We'll be right back. The Hornets in the 1A championship game lead on the LaCie Broadcasting IHSAA television network. Rossville has hit 13 of its first 17 shots here in the first half, and the Hornets lead the Barr-Reeve Vikings 32-12. And
in that shooting, Chris, Rossville is 5 of 5 behind the 3-line, 100%. Barr-Reeve has attempted 7 threes, only hit 1.
They'll get it down low. Here's Cole, had it tipped away. Rossville comes the other way. Chittick will run it up the floor. Gallipo. That's the first 3-point miss. And make that was Knepp. No, let's check that. Dillingham from the right wing. Looked like Gallipo. First 3-point miss by Rossville. Shot in the lane, good for Barr-Reeve. That's Wiltshire. He has 7. We talked about the depth. Barr-Reeve just does not have that depth. They had 2 players have knee injuries. They really have 6 or 7 players that can play. Dave, and Rossville, we've already seen Coach Jeff Henley use 8, 9, 10 players.
8 or 9 and 10, 6 of them have put points on the board. And another area Barr-Reeve can help themselves, Chris, they have been getting to the free throw line, but they're only 3 of 7 from the free throw line. They need to knock those free throws in. If you're behind, all you can do now is get a good possession each time, get to the free throw line or get a good look, chip away at it. There's a lot of basketball left to play.
And you can't get away from your game plan. If your game plan is to be patient, you've still got to be patient. Missed 3-point shot. Rossville the rebound. Greaves went over the top.
Got away with it, didn't he?
Yeah, Barr-Reeve crowd wanted a foul. He misses, and here come the Vikings. Out of the Blue Chip Conference in Southern Indiana. Shot rolls around the rim. Bowman couldn't get it. Here are the Hornets the other way. And Brock Graves, he's done it inside, he's done it outside. He has 13 first half points.
Keep an eye on Welcher, number 14, Bowman. He's really limping. He came down last time, and he's got his right ankle heavily taped, and he's not moving very well.
Bo Gish will score. He is a young man that he suffered a knee injury, an ACL injury, but you see that big, thick knee brace on his left knee. He has practiced, he has played, and he is on the floor. He is a senior, 5'10", 6.5 points per game, his first appearance here this morning.
Well, Brock Graves is 5 of 6 on the day. Chittick 4 of 6. Two pretty good options to go to.
Graves on the baseline. 15 points for Brock Graves. And Barr-Reeve just simply has not had an answer for him.
No answer for Brock Graves. He's good along the baseline. He can shoot the face-in jumper. He can post you up.
And Bowman will score the other way. He has 7 for Barr-Reeve. 36-18. The problem for the Vikings, you can't trade baskets. Greaves the rebound, goes right back up, draws the foul. Cole blocked it. But Craig Knepp is called for the foul.
Rossville doesn't fool around. They bring it up and attack immediately. That's the way they play. One thing they haven't done today that they normally do is press. You're going to see a replay on this. Quick down inside shot. You saw Greaves pull it strong. Crossover with his footwork. Good footwork there to take it back up.
Greaves hit the free throw. We have seen him go aggressively to the offensive glass. 6 foot, averaging almost 4 rebounds per game. And again, Rossville and Coach Jeff Henley really using the bench here in the first half, and that has been a major difference for the Hornets.
When the regional in Sim State, Greaves stepped up as an offensive player. As I mentioned, he only averages 5.
Graves for 3, hits again.
He is on fire.
Well, they said it was a 2.
Here's the element Rossville hasn't shown. They normally press.
22-point lead, 40-18 Rossville. Here's a drive in the lane, and that's Darren Wiltshire. He has 9. Rossville, though, Dave, comes right back up the floor, and they press the issue.
Well, Wiltshire made a real nice floating shot, but as you said, that transition defense for Barr-Reeve's going to have to stay on his toes.
Cole the rebound, and Barr-Reeve will bring it down. They trail by 20. Dave, we're approaching the 3-minute mark of the second quarter. They really need to have this Rossville lead down to 10 or 12.
By halftime, you're right, and I don't think they can do that, but they sure need to make a dent in it.
Roberson draws the foul on Cole. And Brian Cole is whistled for the foul, and Roberson will go to the free throw line and shoot a pair of free throws now for the Rossville Hornets. Methodist Sports Medicine Center, in partnership with Clarion Health, provides sports medicine coverage for more than 20 high schools. It is also the official sports medicine provider to IHSAA State Championship events, providing coverage for 10 colleges, including Butler, Indiana, Indiana State, Indianapolis, and Purdue. Methodist Sports Medicine Center is also the official sports medicine provider for the Colts and the Indiana Firebirds. Methodist Sports Medicine Center, we keep you in the game.
Troy Roberson missed the first of 2. He'll get 1 more. He shoots 65% on the year.
Second one is good. He has 4 off the bench. And again, here's that 1-2-1-1 full court pressure.
Yep, diamond and 1. They trap it as soon as it comes on court, and then they stay after you.
Dillingham is called for the foul. That will put Barr-Reeve to the free throw line. Many people tuning in might not know that Dave coached against me when I was at Westfield. Did you put this 1-2-1-1 press against me when I was at Westfield?
We played a box and 1 on you. You were the big-time scorer, and you were the center, and I mean that honestly. You were the center of our focus defensively.
Dave and I had
you lit it up in high school.
We had a lot of fun. 23 years ago, I played for my father at Westfield, and Dave, the longtime coach at Noblesville, had some great teams there. Loneker hits the free throw. So it's good for us to work together. A couple of people who played and coached in Hamilton County. Both free throws by Loneker.
Doesn't seem like it's been that long ago, Chris. It was fun. People might not know where Barr-Reeve High School is.
Offensive foul, Roberson. As Bowman slid in there to pick up the charge, and Roberson now has a pair.
Barr-Reeve High School is Montgomery, Indiana. If you don't know where that is, it's in Daviess County, and that's close to Washington, Indiana, kind of the southwestern corner of the state. And of course, Rossville is about 12 miles due east of Lafayette, Indiana, for the people across the state.
Well, Barr-Reeve had a big win, an overtime win in the Seymour Semi-State last week. They beat White River Valley 62-57. Let's look at this replay.
There's that replay as Roberson goes in there. He does a nice job dropping it off. There wasn't excessive contact. The officials felt there was enough to call an offensive charge.
71% free throw shooter. Bowman missed it. Here comes Rossville the other way. Chittick in the lane is fouled.
That was a great pass by Claes, as you saw Chittick cutting away from the ball, and it makes it so easy to pass to an open man if they move when you have the basketball, and Rossville's doing that extremely well.
Only the 4th team foul against Barr-Reeve, so not a 1-and-1 opportunity, and Graves hits again. Brock Graves.
Is he feeling it? He is unbelievable out there this afternoon.
He has got every friendly roll on the rim, and he has a big effort right now for Rossville as they have a 19-point lead. Bowman throws it away, and there's another turnover by Rossville trying to press the issue. Jumper left short by Loneker off the bench, and now here's Chittick, and he will lay it in. Justin Chittick has 12. He and Graves have been a two-man wrecking crew as Rossville has a 21-point first-half lead. Another turnover, but Barr-Reeve nearly got it back, but lost the ball out of bounds, and Rossville will have it.
Well, what a lot of people may not know, Rossville has tremendous basketball tradition. The only reason they haven't been here 2 or 3 times in the last 5 years has been a school called Lafayette Central Catholic, because they have been an outstanding team. This year, Rossville lost to Catholic during the regular season, came back, and that was their big win in the regional. They beat them in the regional.
Wright beat him 86-73. Chittick's three-point shot was short, but we have a foul on the floor, and Graves, I believe, will be called for the offensive foul.
If it is, I believe that's 3 on Graves, and I know Rossville has a tremendously big lead, but they're losing the guy that is red hot this afternoon for a while with 3 personals in Brock Graves.
He'll have to go to the bench. He has 19 points and 3 first-half fouls. Let's take a look at the replay.
Let's see if you can see the elbow. They said, yeah, that's after the play, I'm afraid. Yeah, we caught just the tail end of it, but they said he used his elbow to gain advantage.
Double bonus. Zane Bowman connects on the free throw. There you see Drew Larman, 6'3" junior, that will come in for the final 1:44 of the first half. Bowman has 8 first half points. Make it 9.
Rossville has now tied the most points in the first half in a 1A game. 45. That was set by that was by 4A team, by Elkhart Central. The A team is 44, so Rossville has already broken that, set by Lafayette Catholic.
Dillingham is called for the walking violation out front, so now Barr-Reeve will have the basketball. 5 turnovers now for Rossville, 4 turnovers for Barr-Reeve, and the Vikings will have the ball. Approaching the 1-minute mark here of quarter number 2. Conseco Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, the first of 4 today, our state championship here. Shot was missed by Loneker and rebounded by Larman, and let's see if Rossville will play for the half's final shot.
Why not? If you don't get a wide open layup, you're playing for a state championship. It doesn't matter how big a lead you have. I'd take the last shot. Give Barr-Reeve no chance to put any more points on the board.
Chittick looking back at head coach Jeff Henley. He has the ball now. Guarded there by Loneker, and it looks like they will take, or at least attempt to take, the final shot of the first half. Chittick will dribble out near the timeline. There is no count because the defender not close enough. 34 seconds to play, and they will look for this final shot. They've had a spectacular first half. They've shot 64% from the field.
And Coach Henley just called for 4 down, so when they get ready to go, they'll put Chittick on the point. You'll see 4 across the baseline. Chittick's awfully hard to guard one-on-one. If you come to help, he will find the open teammate. He should not go until about 7 seconds, 5 seconds on the board.
10 seconds now on the clock, and here comes Chittick. And he is fouled. And Lonecker commits the foul, but that's a good foul by Barr-Reeve because they had a foul to give. In fact, a couple of fouls to give. That's only their 5th of the half.
And you're exactly right, Chris. The wise thing to do, if they catch it on court, foul again. Don't let him get the shot in the air.
Absolutely. 5 seconds here. I'd foul him right now, but Chittick gets away, leaves it short, and that will be the half. But still, an excellent half of basketball for the Rossville Hornets. They were a 1914 state finalist, and now 88 years later, it may be a different format, but Rossville is playing for a state championship. 16 minutes in the books, and Rossville has a 19-point first half lead, 45-26, and let's go to Bob Nagel. Bob?
Thank you very much, and Coach Jeff Henley is here. Coach, you don't want a halftime right now. Your team's playing about as well as you could have hoped.
No, we'd like to play straight through and not have any timeouts or anything.
You executed very well offensively. You've done enough defensively to kind of put a little bit of a wrinkle against them. What do you want to do in the second half?
Same thing. I mean, I think we're a pretty good defensive team, and everybody just talks about our offense. But what they don't realize is our offense gets our defense gets our offense going. So we'll not make any adjustments at halftime.
Right, Coach, good luck to you.
Thank you.
Jeff Henley, head coach of Rossville. Things going pretty good for the red and white.
All right, thanks, Bob. 45-26. Rossville with a 19-point first half lead. Our halftime show is next. Our 1A championship game on the LaCie Broadcasting IHSAA Television Network. Welcome back to Conseco Fieldhouse in Indianapolis. Rossville leads 45-26 at the half. Standing by with Barr-Reeve's head coach Brian Hughes. Here's Bob Nagel. Bob?
Tough locker room for you at halftime, but Rossville played as well as they could possibly play. What do you do here in the second half?
Well, we got to somehow figure out how to get some stops at the defensive end. We allowed them to get out and run and get an early lead, and we didn't want to do that. They're a very good basketball team, and when they're knocking down the shots like they did, it's difficult from our standpoint. But hopefully we can chip away a little bit here in the second half and make a game of it.
Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach. Ryan Hughes, the head coach at Barr-Reeve. A tough assignment in the second half. Let's go back over courtside now to Dave and Chris. And, boy, a tough assignment for Barr-Reeve in the second half.
It is, Bob, and Dave and I mentioned in the first half, and I think one of the keys to the game, and early in the game, Dave, you mentioned that Barr-Reeve, because of the style of play, they couldn't afford to have Rossville get out to a big lead, and that's what happened.
That's exactly what happened, and in Barr-Reeve, that's a nightmare.
All right, let's take a look at our first half highlights. And again, it was a situation where Rossville shot the ball extremely well. And here they are against that zone.
That was Tommy Dillingham with the 3.
Now this is Barr-Reeve. And that's Zane Bowman, who had 9 first half points. And here is Brock Graves. Graves hit that jumper on the baseline. He had 19 first half points, hit 9 of 10 from the field. He led the way. Justin Chittick had 12. There you look at the halftime stats, and the shooting percentage tells the story. 62% for Rossville, 38 for Barr-Reeve. And the rebounds also 18 rebounds to 10 for Barr-Reeve. A lot of second chance points, Dave, for Rossville.
The rebounding was a big thing, but the shooting percentage was a big key for Rossville. 62% compared to 37.5. That's going to put you in a hole.
All right, the halftime score, it's Rossville 45 and Barr-Reeve 26. This is the LaCie Broadcasting IHSAA Television Network. Rossville will have the basketball to start our third quarter. They lead it by 19, 45-26.
Another key point there on the stats, Chris. Rossville off the fast break had 14 points. Barr-Reeve had 0.
Gallipo with the ball for Rossville as they will start with the same lineup that started the game. That's Justin Chittick, had a 12-point first half. Adam Klez has the ball. Barr-Reeve in the dark uniforms, Rossville in the white. Klez has the shot blocked, and Barr-Reeve now will try to score to start things off here in the third quarter. I would assume, Dave, that when you get to the start of the fourth quarter, Barr-Reeve has to have this ball game 10 points or less.
I agree with that, and they've got to do what they did there, get a good look. That was a good shot for them, about a 12-foot jumper.
Gallipo hit a 3 in the first half. He misses that one, and Cole the rebound, and a foul against Rossville.
That's 4 on Brock Graves. That is critical, but, you know, if Barr-Reeve's going to get back in it, that might be a key right there.
You heard the disappointment, Brian Hughes talking to Bob Nagel. I think he was amazed, Dave, that Rossville shot the ball so well.
I think people that have seen Rossville play during the year wouldn't be too shocked. They've been a great shooting ball club.
Craig Knapp hits a 3. First points of the half belong to Barr-Reeve, and their crowd behind us trying to make some noise. It's a 16-point game. Chittick, nice pass to Graves. He missed it, and Cole has the rebound for Barr-Reeve.
I want to correct something. The official book.
Basket by Zane Bowman. They've scored the first 5 of the half. And I believe they only had him for 2 fouls, right?
3. They brought Graves for 3. I had him for 4, but we've got to go with the official book. 3 fouls. That makes a difference.
That was an air ball, and now here comes Barr-Reeve again. It's a 14-point game, 45-31. Cole in the lane. Missed it. Got his own rebound and scores.
That's a 9-0 run for Barr-Reeve, and we're going to have a Rossville timeout.
So Barr-Reeve, trailing 45-26 at the half, has cut the margin to 12 at 45-33. And they've done a great job. They've hit a 3 from Knapp and then Bowman and Cole. And for Brian Cole, I thought, Dave, that was a big hoop for him because that was his first field goal of the game, as we'll pick up a replay.
And here's a replay of that last shot. You saw Cole miss his shot, but you see him go right back and get it real strong, put it off the glass, and put it back in. If you're the coach of Barr-Reeve, Brian Hughes, that's what you want coming out of the locker room. And quite frankly, you mentioned it a minute ago, Chris, that's what they had to have any chance. They've got it down to 12-point margin right now.
Well, we mentioned, too, that Brock Graves has 3 fouls, so he has to be careful now against Brian Cole. There's the run, 9-0 by Barr-Reeve. 45-33, Hornets, a 12-point third-quarter lead.
And this is the closest Barr-Reeve has been since the end of the first quarter when the score was 24-12.
Gallipo, Chittick, he'll spin in the lane, he'll shoot the jumper, can't get it, rebound loose, and Barr-Reeve has another rebound, and they can bring this margin to either 10 or 9.
I'll tell you what can happen. A team that's had a big lead, if Barr-Reeve would get this down to 10 with this possession, Rossville might tighten up just a little bit.
We've played 2.5 minutes here in the third quarter. 3 on the way. Just left short, but an offensive rebound by Loneker. Net missed the 3. Now Bowman looks inside. He'll drive, miss it. Cole there for the rebound. Bowman got it. Back up, scores.
One game earlier in the year against Lebanon, Rossville was ahead 16 points at halftime, and 3 minutes into the third quarter, Lebanon was able to tie the score. So I don't know how Rossville's going to react, but they need to get a basket and stop the bleeding right here.
Their lead has been trimmed to 10. So 9 points have come off the lead since the half. Graves misses, and Barr-Reeve another rebound.
It's nervous time if you're a Rossville Hornet fan.
Bowman misses but draws the foul. David Greaves commits it. And Zane Bowman will shoot 2 free throws. And the crowd behind us from Barr-Reeve making all sorts of noise now as the Vikings have come roaring back.
Here's a replay on that last one. You go see Greaves go up and get the shooter on the wrist, and Bowman hits his first one. It's been 5 minutes, the end of the first half and into this quarter, since Rossville has scored a point.
First free throw was good. The second missed. It's a 9-point game, 45-36. Graves will shoot a 3, miss the 3. And Barr-Reeve the rebound.
Well, he's hitting everything in the first half, but when a team makes a run on you, you've been there as a player, and you've seen so many games that basket gets a lot smaller when that other team starts coming on like Barr-Reeve has been doing.
Rossville now in a 1-2-2 zone. They are 0 for 6 this quarter, the Hornets. Approaching the halfway mark of quarter number 3. Barr-Reeve has trimmed 10 points off the halftime lead. Wiltshire is fouled. Going to the basket.
I believe that's on Greaves again. Well, they called it on number 30, Justin Chittick. I only have Chittick for one personal, so he's in no danger.
Jeff Henley, I know showing some concern here, has really seen this halftime lead drift away.
Here's the replay of that. You see Chittick reach in, swat at the ball, and got a piece of the arm.
Alley-oop was intended. As we come back to live action, they went to the alley-oop pass to Zane Bowman. The ball was short, and now Rossville has it. They've yet to score here in the quarter. Charging foul against Adam Klez. And Barr-Reeve will have the basketball with a chance to cut deeper into this lead. 9-point Rossville lead. They've yet to score on the LaCie Broadcasting IHSAA television network. Barr-Reeve has outscored Rossville 10-0 in the half. They're on a 12-0 run, and they have trimmed the margin to 9, and they have the basketball midway through quarter number 3. With Dave Nicholson, Bob Nagel, I'm Kristen Airy, courtside. Game 1 this morning of our 4 state championship games, and Bowman hits a 3. It's a 6-point game, Dave Nicholson.
That's 6 points for Zane Bowman in this quarter. Rossville just scored their first point since 2:04 to go in the first half. What a drought that had been.
Brock Graves hit 9 of 10 in the first half, and he gets Rossville on the board, and they have an 8-point lead.
And Rossville stays in that 3-2 zone. I really think one reason is they don't want to get Graves in any more foul trouble.
Lonecker hits the jumper. He has 4. Chittick will score the other way for Rossville. Chittick has 14. But what the zone has done, it has given Barr-Reeve some confidence, Dave, in shooting the ball.
And isn't it amazing when 1 or 2 shots drop, what a confidence factor that is. And basketball is such a confidence thing, as most sports activities are. But if you believe you're going to make them, sometimes you just go in.
And Wiltshire hits the jumper. Rossville on fire in the first half. Barr-Reeve doing the same here in the second half. They'll get the rebound. They trail by 6. Could it be 4?
1 up.
Wiltshire missed that one, but an offensive rebound and a foul over the top. Justin Chittick there.
Good call. That's on Chittick, and he has 2 personals. And of course, Graves is sitting there with 3, so you don't want to, if you're Rossville, you don't want to get Chittick's 3rd and have Graves with 3 also.
Visit Dugan Chevrolet Pontiac at their new facility at Prestwick Crossing in Avon. Over 200 units and 100 used units are available. A modern facility with the latest technology to take care of your needs. Dugan Chevrolet Pontiac in Avon. Call 745-6444.
And on that read, during that read, you saw clearly that Chittick did go over the top on the rebound.
Rossville has it. The missed shot by Barr-Reeve. The lead is 6.
Roberson got that ball caught on his hip and just took an extra step. That was an easy call to make.
Roberson came off the bench, had 4 first-half points. Tommy Dillingham had a 3-point field goal in the first half. He's on the floor, and now Brock Graves will sit down. He has 21 points, but he plays with 3 fouls, and now Rossville extends that zone. Let's see if it's zone or man-to-man. It's man-to-man now by the Hornets.
Well, they took Graves out. Remember, they were protecting him a little with that zone, and since he's out, they're better defensive man-to-man.
And Zane Bowman will try to make it a 3-point play and will try to cut the Rossville lead to 3.
And that's 10 points for Zane Bowman here in the 3rd quarter. He has come out of the locker room. You're going to see a replay at home on this as you're going to watch Bowman take it down the lane. There's the move, a spin move up and in, and he made a 3-point play the old-fashioned way.
He has converted the three-point play, and Dave, they have cut the margin to 3 at 49-46.
By far the closest been since the start of the game for Barr-Reeve.
Justin Gallipo gives it to Justin Chittick, and his three-point shot is good.
He's a money player. And when the pressure is on, you normally see your best come to the top, and Chittick just did that with that three-pointer.
44% three-point shooter. Bowman. Is this fun or what? Zane Bowman with a 14-point third quarter.
It almost goes back to the second quarter when Graves went wild for Rossville. Now it's Bowman for Barr-Reeve.
Man-to-man defense by Barr-Reeve.
If anybody said they thought Barr-Reeve would be back this close, they're probably going to count that basket.
The toughest call in basketball, Dave, and that's the block charge call. And that time, Chittick gets the hoop. He'll go to the free throw line. And the foul on Darren Wiltshire.
I think it was the right call. My only question was, did he release it before or after the foul? But I do think it was a block.
85% free throw shooter, and Chittick completes the old-fashioned three-point play.
So I started to mention it. Anybody in this building thought that Barr-Reeve would be back this close this soon. They're not being really honest. Me included.
Bowman and Loneker out front. That's Loneker. Let's see if Barr-Reeve works for the final shot. They should with 25 seconds to play in the quarter.
I think they will. They're back within 6, and they're tickled to death to be where they are. They have the momentum, and if they could get it down to 4 or 3 at the end of the quarter, they're going to be sky high coming into the fourth quarter.
Absolutely. If you would have told Brian Hughes that he would have it down to 3 at one point in the quarter, he would have taken that hands down.
Need to get it into Welcher's hands.
Steal. There's Dillingham. Just short of the third quarter buzzer, but a great quarter for the Vikings of Barr-Reeve. They trailed by 19 at the half, and now they trail by just 6. Rossville 55, Barr-Reeve 49 on the LaCie Broadcasting IHSAA Television Network. Barr-Reeve has trimmed 13 points off the 19-point halftime deficit. Right now, Rossville's lead is down to 6, 55-49. Zane Bowman, 14 of Barr-Reeve's 23 points in the third quarter. They hit 9 of 15 from the field, Dave, after they hit just 9 of 24 in the first half.
And a key stat, at halftime, Rossville had the edge in rebounding by 10 rebounds. It is now even, 21-21.
Bowman continues to shoot it well. He now has 25-16 here in the second half, and it's a 4-point game. 55-51 Rossville. Missed three-point try, no good by Dillingham, and Barr-Reeve has the basketball.
That's not who Rossville wants to shoot the ball. Coach Henley came off the bench. You better get the ball in Chittick's hands and then in Gray's hands.
Wiltshire, a great pass inside, but it's around the rim and no good. Loneker couldn't get it home for Barr-Reeve.
Easiest attempt they've had this half, and it just rattled out.
Chittick will shoot that free throw line jumper, spins out, rebound. Barr-Reeve has it. That was Craig Knapp. Here comes Wiltshire. He'll shoot an 18-footer. Hit it.
Wiltshire stepping up his game. He averages 13 a game, and he will pick it up from here on out.
A 2-point game here at Conseco Fieldhouse in the Class A championship game, but it's a 4-point game now as Brock Graves has 23.
When the game's on the line, you probably need to get the ball in your key players' hands. Brock Graves, of course, we mentioned Chittick. You mentioned at the other end, Wiltshire will continue to shoot, and you're going to see Bowman, number 14.
Cole will jump hook it up and in.
Shot on the move. We haven't seen that in his repertoire today, but that was a great move by the big fella.
Barr-Reeve has done a good job, Dave, of really playing Rossville's game. They've been quick on the offense, not as patient as Brian Hughes would want them to be. Well, after a slow third quarter for Brock Graves, he had 19 in the first half, just a field goal in the third. He's hit back-to-back field goals. Wiltshire
You remember they set Graves out a little bit, protecting his fouls. He has 3. I think he's playing a little more aggressively now, particularly on the offensive end.
Rossville, Dillingham may have gotten away with a couple of traveling calls there. Here's Graves. He'll score again.
But they have found no answer for Brock Graves all day.
Brian Hughes wants a 30-second timeout. 6-point Rossville lead as Brock Graves has scored 3 consecutive field goals for the Hornets. He now has 27 points for Rossville. Zane Bowman has 25 to lead Barr-Reeve. Davies County Visitors Bureau wants to congratulate the Barr-Reeve Vikings. Come visit Davies County, Southern Indiana's Amish country. For more information, call 800-449-5262. Let's bring Dave Nicholson back with us, and let's look at the replay here. And here again is Brock Graves.
Great pass. Brock Graves is so good along that baseline. That's his 13th field goal this morning out of 17 tries, Chris. Unbelievable shooting in a state championship game.
16.5 points he averages, 53% field goal shooting. And he has, it's been Chittick and Graves. Chittick has 20, Graves has 27 for Rossville. But Barr-Reeve right back in it, approaching the 5-minute mark of the quarter. Bowman misses the 3, and the rebound by Roberson for Rossville.
Now they went right back to Bowman because he's been the hot hand for Barr-Reeve. Wasn't quite on the mark there. Remember, Chris, defense, rebounding, free throws, the rest of the way, that's going to determine the winner, and Rossville's going to have to rebound.
Inside out, Chittick leaves it short. Cole the rebound.
I've been impressed with Cole. He really goes hard after the ball. He hadn't been able to finish all the shots down low, but he really goes after the rebound.
Gallipo is called for the reach-in foul. Wilcher tried to beat him to the basket. And Rossville again has put Barr-Reeve in the bonus. We saw that very early, but in the first half, Dave, Barr-Reeve didn't take advantage. They did not shoot free throws very well.
You're exactly right. They didn't shoot well, and that could have gotten this game a lot closer a lot sooner had they done so.
And Wilcher misses the front end of the bonus.
And he's shooting 80%, just over 80% for the year. That's most unusual for him to miss a free throw.
They were just 7 of 12 in the first half. They're now 2 of 4 here in the second half, and Graves has scored the last 4 field goals for Rossville. He has 29.
Well, I know you're risking a kick out for a 3-point shot, but I think to stop Graves, that's offensive. They're called bluff. I missed that again. I missed him all my life on those. I thought he extended the elbow.
We'll have free throws now for Barr-Reeve.
Let's watch this replay, and you're going to see Bowman drive. And see if we didn't have a good view of that. The defender was definitely still moving, but I thought the elbow was extended a little bit. Doesn't matter. Bowman's going to be at the line. Bowman is 69.5% on the year at the line. But he's been hot, so you expect a hot shooter to make him.
He misses. Rossville the rebound with Roberson. And so now 2 front ends of 1-and-1s, and now we have an official's timeout as Justin Chittick lost his shoe. Party Time Rental rents it all, from inflatables and carnival games to elegant tents, tables, chairs, linens, and much, much more. Party Time Rental, the one-stop shop for all your graduation, wedding, and corporate event needs. Let Party Time Rental turn an ordinary event into an extraordinary one. Call 844-5178. It's located on Rangeline Road in Carmel. We have a timeout. Rossville an 8-point lead on the LaCie Broadcasting IHSAA Television Network. Rossville has an 8-point lead. They are 4 minutes, 18 seconds away from winning a state championship. They opened the season with a win at Lafayette, Jeff, then won 8 straight games to start the year. They lost 2 of their last 4 regular season games, but they're trying to win it here. Chittick in the lane. Missed it, but a nice rebound and a follow by Adam Klez.
First basket of the day, I believe, for Adam, and what a big one it was to put his ball club up by 10. If Barr-Reeve looks back with one regret, it's going to be the free throw shooting. They're 9 of 17 this morning, and they're a lot better shooters than that, I'm sure.
8-0 run by the Hornets after Barr-Reeve had climbed within 2 at 57-55. Here's a jumper missed by Bowman, but a foul. He'll have 2 free throws now. And again, it's imperative now with the clock stopped. You've got to take advantage at the line.
Right, that foul was on Justin Gallipo. And, you know, you've got the guy that's been hot this game up there. He hasn't been hot at the free throw line, but he's been red hot from the field this half.
Bowman's free throw is good. He now has 26.
He's almost playing Brock Graves one-on-one here. I think Graves probably has 27 unofficially, and that's his 26.
Bowman will try to cut this to an 8-point ball game. Both free throws good. 8-point Rossville lead, and now Barr-Reeve in his own press.
A little 2-2-1 press. Now, last time Rossville went to an open middle.
Roberson missed it, but it lands right in the hands of Graves. And Graves now with 31.
I wasn't sure about that shot by Roberson, but it worked out okay.
Steal, and here's Chittick against Bowman. He'll lay it in.
Just like that, Chris, it's back to a 12-point spread, and I'm not sure there's enough time left as Barr-Reeve takes a timeout.
Ryan Hughes wants a timeout there. You see the sea of red here at Conseco Fieldhouse. The Rossville fans on their feet. And we have a full timeout as Rossville has opened up a 12-point lead. 69-57 Hornets on the LaCie Broadcasting and IHSAA Television Network. The Methodist Sports Medicine Center scoreboard tells it Rossville 69, Barr-Reeve 57. It was a 2-point ball game, 57-55 just minutes ago.
You're exactly right. Since that time, Rossville went on a 12-1 run. 8 of those points by Brock Graves.
And if you're just tuning in, Rossville had a 19-point halftime lead at 45-26. It was a great run by Barr-Reeve to get back in this one, and now Barr-Reeve has the ball. They're in the road black, Rossville in the white uniforms. Bowman, his 3, hits the front edge of the rim and falls. So the lead is 9.
What an afternoon Bowman's having. 28th point he just put up.
He had 14 in the third quarter. He has 7 here in the fourth quarter. Rossville, now let's see if they'll take time off the clock. Chittick, Gallipo, Roberson. They also have Adam Klez in the lineup. Nice baseline move and a great pass, and Graves lays it in.
Graves is awfully good along that baseline and that back door.
Bowman misses. Graves the rebound. He'll get it into the hands of Chittick.
They should pull it out, go into the delay, in my opinion, and get to the foul line. And I think that's what Coach Henley just indicated. He held up an open palm 5. That usually means an open middle offense. Layups and free throws. Make them come and get you.
Bowman is called for the foul. His first. It is only the second foul, so Barr-Reeve, to try to get Rossville to the free throw line, still has to foul 5 more times.
When you don't have enough fouls, that it works against you. Normally you don't want to foul, but Barr-Reeve would be better off if Rossville was in the bonus. At least they would have a chance to get possessions, and that's what they have to have here in the last 2 minutes.
Dave, we have seen some outstanding individual performances here for Barr-Reeve. Bowman has 30 points. For Rossville, Graves has 33 on 16 of 20 from the field, and Justin Chittick has 22. He is fouled out front as, again, Barr-Reeve.
Well, it's not called an intentional foul, but it was a foul on purpose so that they can get Rossville to the free throw line.
TGI Fridays downtown is located at 501 West Washington Street across from Victory Field. TGI Friday serves breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week starting at 6 a.m.
You talk about the points by individuals. I'm sure that Brock Graves, the farthest thing in his mind is a record, but Brody Boyd does hold the single game record of 35 points in 1A.
Roberson, he missed it. Cole got it. Boy, I was here a few years ago for that performance by Boyd, who now plays at Iowa. And there's Bowman. He has 32. He will not quit for Barr-Reeve. They've cut again the margin to 9.
But there's only a minute and a half. Rossville's going to take care of the basketball, shoot nothing but layups and free throws.
And Bowman is forced to foul Chittick. And again, it's only the 5th foul, so they still have 2 more fouls to get before Rossville will shoot free throws.
Well, Rossville probably should keep that ball in the hands of Chittick. He shoots 85% on the year. Brock Graves is 75, and Klez is 75. That's the 3 guys you want handling the ball, and they know what they're doing. They just gave it to Chittick.
Chittick is fouled.
Give it to him again. He's your best point trader. He's your best free throw shooter, and he's a pretty good passer. Not a bad combination. Reminded me when you were a Shamrock at Westfield.
Ryan Loneker has fouled out. There you see him standing with head coach Brian Hughes, who played collegiately at Indiana Central, now the University of Indianapolis. And this Barr-Reeve program, 27 straight winning seasons down in southern Indiana. And the last 3 seasons heading into this morning's ball game, 57-16.
Well, they've had an outstanding program. They only have 180 students in school. Rossville has a few more, 260, but they just have kept it going year after year at both schools.
So there's Loneker. He fouls out, 4 points, 2 rebounds. This is the first of 4 state championship games today from Conseco Fieldhouse. The 2A championship game is next as Bluffton will battle Speedway. And then later tonight, the 3A and 4A state championship games. And a full day of basketball, Dave.
There's not a better high school sports day in the world than today. You get to see 4 champions crowned. There's not a better one in the world.
And Brock Graves now has 34. And a free throw here will tie Brody Boyd for the most points in a Class A state championship game.
No, I don't know if anybody's looking at him beyond high school, but if they're watching today, that's going to open some eyes at the collegiate level.
73-62. Bowman will have his 3-point try spin out. But Barr-Reeve will get another opportunity with 1:14 to play.
Yeah, Brock Graves did a great effort there, but he just couldn't control it. Went off his fingertips. Too little, too late.
Barr-Reeve. Here's Bowman. His 3 will go. And Zane Bowman hits a 3. And Brian Hughes quickly wants a timeout. Let's see what kind of timeout he takes. I believe a 30-second timeout it is.
That shot for Bowman also ties Brody Boyd's record, so he and Graves are still going in one-on-one. And in the total record for all classes, Dave Shepard, a familiar name in Hoosier land, scored 40 points, I believe, versus East Chicago, Washington in 1970. Roosevelt.
He had 40 points. We have a pair of 35-point efforts here.
I watched that game when Dave Shepard got those 40 out at Hooper Fieldhouse.
So Barr-Reeve will come back out on the floor. Brian Hughes, I think if he could have scripted this game, Dave, this is not what he would have liked. Again, when you average 58 points and you give up 45, that's the style you want, and Rossville really dictated the tempo early on.
Remember, we said if Rossville scores 70, they win. It looks like that's the case. They've got 73, and they're ahead by 8 points with a minute and 1 second to go and going to be shooting free throws.
The thing I am impressed with, though, is how Barr-Reeve, really playing Rossville's game, got back in the contest.
As I said, there's no one in this building that thought Barr-Reeve would have even a chance to come back and win the ball game. They proved everybody wrong by having a great spurt here in the second half. Everybody's going to be proud of their efforts when they look back on it. Now, when this game's over, the Barr-Reeve kids are going to be a little discouraged, as any competitor would. But as they look back on their season and their career, they're going to feel very, very good about themselves.
Both free throws good by Chittick. And Rossville and head coach Jeff Henley wants a timeout. 1:01 to play, a 10-point Rossville lead in the Class A championship game on the LaCie Broadcasting IHSAA television network. Rossville has a 10-point fourth quarter lead with Dave Nicholson. I'm Chris Denary here courtside. Bob Nagel is on the sidelines for us today. Our entire LaCie Sports broadcast team bringing you game 1 of 4 today. The Indiana High School Athletic Association Boys Basketball State Finals. This is the Class A title game. And Barr-Reeve has the basketballs. We're inside a minute. And Rossville in white with a 10-point lead. Bo Gish misses the three. Bowman there the rebound. He'll go right back up and has a new record now with 37. Zane Bowman, the rebound. He has 37. It's an 8-point game.
Our game within the game, Bowman leads by 2. He has 37. And Brock Graves is sitting on 35. But I'll tell you something. Zane Bowman would trade places.
Absolutely.
Up 8 with 44.4 seconds to go in the championship game.
Bowman is just a junior. We have a foul as Craig Knepp commits the foul for Barr-Reeve, and will come the other way. And
guess who's shooting?
Brock Graves at the line. He sits on 35 points right now. There you see Brian Hughes.
He's 75% on the year, so his chances are pretty good of tying Bowman.
Hughes in his 10th year, 162 and 69 at Barr-Reeve. They came in ranked 3rd in the state. Free throw.
You think Dave Shepard is guarding the TV screen at home if he's watching this? He's going to try to make a steal from both of those guys. Double team him.
He's hoping that both you and I can help him. We can't do anything, Dave. 37 now for Graves. 12-point Rossville lead. Bowman will miss the three. He was going after 40 there, and then a foul. And Brian Cole is whistled for that. Will come the other way.
It's all over but the final score, in all honesty, with 33.9 seconds to go. But, you know, it would almost be fitting if Graves and Bowman did stay 37 apiece, because they both have played great basketball games. And what a time to showcase their talents, the state championship game. Individually, it doesn't get any better than that.
Roberson, the free throw. Coach, you think there's anybody left in Rossville today?
No. I hope they rented some security guards to guard the town, because as you look over there, that's a great point. The red and white here. Remember, this is only a school of 260, and it's not a big town, but the red and white fills almost a fourth of Conseco Fieldhouse. An outstanding support by both schools, Barr-Reeve and Rossville.
Craig Knepp will leave, a senior. Also, Darren Wiltshire, a senior. You saw them go to the bench for Barr-Reeve. They'll end their careers here this morning. Roberson's free throw good. Likewise, Jeff Henley will bring Tommy Dillingham back. He's a junior.
Well, what a run it's been for Brian Hughes and the Barr-Reeve Vikings. They have done an outstanding job, and he's recognizing some of his seniors.
And now Brock Graves is going to leave, and he'll leave with 37 points in a state championship for the Rossville Hornets. They were a finalist back in 1914. 88 years later, they get to a championship game. They're going to win it. Here's Bowman. His three not good. A foul and a rebound. Tyler Showalter in the lineup for the first time. A sophomore for Barr-Reeve will shoot free throws.
What year was that? 1914. I think that was the year before they cut the bottom out of the peach basket, I'm pretty sure. So you might say this is the real trip for the Rossville Hornets.
So Tyler Showalter, a sophomore for Barr-Reeve, his opportunity to go to the line now, and free throw is good. And now Justin Chittick is going to leave. He'll be replaced there by Brandon Graves, and Chittick leaves with a bear hug for head coach Jeff Henley. Chittick leaves with 24 points. He and Brock Graves combined for 59 of Rossville's 79 this morning.
What an outstanding career both of those young men have had, and they've been staples on that Rossville Hornet team for 4 years.
Zane Bowman is also left for Barr-Reeve, so he'll leave with 37. And now let's see Well, I would assume Barr-Reeve will just let Rossville dribble the ball out.
Much used to foul now.
Dillingham has it.
My wife will be a happy lady. She is an alumni of Rossville High School.
Great joy in Rossville, Indiana today as the Rossville Hornets have won the 1A state championship game. They beat Barr-Reeve 79-68. And Dave, they really led it from start to finish. An outstanding performance by Rossville.
It was outstanding performance, and you can't say it was never in doubt, though, because Barr-Reeve was able to cut it to 2 in the third quarter, made a great run. May have used up all they had at that point. Rossville went on a 12-1 run of their own and closed it out.
Well, they lost 2 of their last 4 regular season games. They won 7 straight heading here to Conseco Fieldhouse. And the Rossville Hornets ranked number 2 in the state. They knocked off the number 1 team, Lafayette Central Catholic, in the regional final. And easy to see why this team, very talented and no doubt they deserve to be the state champs.
Well, having watched them play during the regular season, I really felt they had the talent to play up a class.
All right, let's send it to the third member of our broadcast team, Bob Nagel, with head coach Jeff Henley.
Coach Jeff Henley. Jeff, congratulations. Your kids withstood a tough test there in the third quarter and came back and won a championship.
Well, I thought Barr-Reeve showed why they're a champion. They were down 19. They've got some kids injured. And I just thought they came out third quarter and played. We couldn't stop them. But we were able to score enough points to withhold the run. And then I thought in the fourth quarter we really got going, and we got the game up tempo. So I'm incredibly proud of my team and this school, and I'm very proud of how Barr-Reeve played because they're true champions.
Coach, congratulations. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, Jeff Henley, state champions at Rossville. Let's go back over. Let's take a break, and we'll come back with more of a post-game celebration on the IHSAA Indiana High School Basketball Network.
Winner of the 2002 Arthur L. Trester Mental Attitude Award for Class 1A Boys Basketball is Troy Vikes.
Welcome back to Conseco Fieldhouse. The Rossville Hornets have won the 1A championship game 79-68 over the Barr-Reeve Vikings. Rossville completes its season with a 23-4 record. Barr-Reeve ends its season 24-5. With Dave Nicholson, I'm Chris Denary, and there you see the winner of the 1A Mental Attitude Award winner, the award, the Trester Award. It's Troy Roberson, a senior from Rossville.
Well, Chris, what makes this so special? This is a young man that tore his ACL in January. Thought his career was probably over. Normal person it would have been. He was determined to come back. Not only came back to play on a championship team, but received what I think is the highest individual honor a person can receive in the Mental Attitude Award.
And he really came off the bench there in the first half and really provided Rossville with some energy. We talked about that Barr-Reeve really limited due to injuries, and they had some knee injuries of their own with really just a 6-man rotation. Rossville, on the other hand, can go 8-9 deep, and when they brought Roberson in off the bench and the likes of that, they were very effective in playing their up-tempo game.
They were effective. The depth was there. Roberson had been a starter for 3 years until the injury, so it's no surprise he came in and really picked them up. Let's give our hats off to Barr-Reeve and Coach Brian Hughes as well. His ball club represented their school and their community extremely well, and particularly I thought they showed their true colors there in the third quarter, as Coach Henley pointed out. They showed why they're here when they made that deficit from 19 reduced to 2.
79-68, Rossville the winner. And there you look at the members of the Barr-Reeve Vikings that are picking up their runner-up medals.
Matt Clark, Adam Neff, Jason Hawkins, Zane Bowman.
Members of the Blue Chip Conference, the Barr-Reeve Vikings, 27 straight winning seasons. Coming in here to Indianapolis.
Brian Cole.
27 straight. That's an unbelievable mark for any school, no matter where you play or who you play. It was outstanding.
Well, Bob Nagel will have a chance to speak with Rossville's Troy Roberson, who was our Trester Mental Attitude Award winner. We'll also have a chance to talk to a couple of the standouts for Rossville, Brock Graves and Justin Chittick. Coming into today's game, Chittick averaging 21.5, Graves at 16.5. Graves goes for 37, Chittick goes for 24. This is one of those games, Dave, when you get to be my age, and you've played high school basketball, and I never had the opportunity to do what these young men did. You'll take out that VHS tape and you'll put that in, because these are some outstanding memories.
Every one of these kids will look back on today, in my opinion, and say it's one of the greatest days of their lives, including Barr-Reeve, as I said. They're disappointed right now, but when they look back on their career, and particularly this season and the run they made to the state championship game, they're going to feel awfully good about themselves. And you mentioned Troy Roberson, the recipient of the Trester Award winner. Obviously a great student. He's third in the class of 80. He's planning on attending Purdue University and study chemical engineering. So he's got a bright future ahead of him outside of athletics.
Close-up look at that state runner-up trophy that will be displayed proudly down in southern Indiana, Davies County. The Barr-Reeve Vikings.
And you hear their huge following behind us, Chris, doing the chant Barr-Reeve. They're thanking these young men because they know they've accomplished